everyone, just got done doing a photo shoot, hence the makeup. I never wear this much makeup, but I wanted to do a little photo shoot. I'm gonna post a video on that. So today the veto ceremony happened. We're dealing with the aftermath of that whole wall yeller situation, and gonna start off by saying it might not have been the outcome that we wanted, but I do think things will hopefully get really interesting soon. Cody actually told Enzo about the committee, that whole alliance with Memphis, that group, that core group and Memphis. And it's interesting because Enzo found out about an alliance that he's not a part of. Enzo's used to being a part of alliances, and this is the first time he really finds out about an alliance, a big one he's not a part of. So what's interesting to me is I really do see this going Tyler versus Cody, and it's kind of like, who's Enzo gonna side with? Because right now, Tyler is playing a pretty good game, and he's planting these seeds, telling Enzo what he wants to hear. He wants to target Danny just like Enzo. So Enzo could very much side with Tyler. So right now, Cody is dealing with the whole aftermath of the wall yeller, plus they all want to target Danny. So he's very likely right now, who knows what happens next week, but Cody, if he's down Danny, that's somebody from his alliance down. So that puts Tyler in a better position. I think this was Tyler's idea to tell Enzo. Cody also wants to lay all these cards on the table. I know him, Enzo, and Tyler kind of have a thing going, and this is Cody being like, I'm totally loyal to you, Enzo. I'm telling you everything, which I do think was smart of Cody, but I think it was Tyler's idea. Dave Vaughn was telling Bailey that she had a dream that Danny told one of the guys, not Tyler, that she wants to target Day. And I'm like, Day, your dreams are spot on. Are you that's so Raven? That's so Day, you know? Because girl, you cannot trust Danny. Danny has had your name and Bay's name in her mouth. So your dream, it is spot on. Ian was actually talking to the camera, and he said he's been playing to get to final 8 or 9, and he's hoping that the competitions at that point are more tailored towards him. This is very similar to what he did his season. He pulled out all those wins toward the end. He was a comp beast at the end when it counted, because that's when everybody wanted to target him and get him out, and he was able to pull out those wins. Ian does realize the position he's in, especially after that whole wall yeller situation. He knows that he's kind of dying a slow death because he's not one of the major players in this house. He doesn't have the connections necessary. And to get to a far point in this game right now, he's gonna have to win a lot, and the comps are different than what they were in BB14. He's said that he's been surprised at the competitions that they have done, like where are the quiz booths? And he has also said that he hasn't seen the more recent seasons. So I don't know how bad that is for him. Obviously, it's a different game than it was when he played. I don't know if he's caught on to the fact that the competitions might get worse for him. They might get more difficult for him to excel at. We are still waiting for a big endurance comp, and that's where Danny can pull off a win, and everybody's waiting to get her out, but she just might get one of them out before they get her out. So we missed a lot after the wall yeller because feeds cut. Apparently the house guests were separated into rooms. Ian was apparently upstairs with Enzo, and he was really upset. Ian was talking to himself in the hammock, saying that he ended up on the wrong side of the house, aligning himself with Nicole Franzel. That's not necessarily the best move, obviously. So at least he knows this now, and he knows that eventually he's gonna have to strike at Nicole. I think next week will be the last person before we reach the jury mark. I don't know how that's all gonna play out, but yeah, because this week would be the 4th person, and next week the 5th person. We also apparently missed a really good Tyler and Bay conversation while the feeds were down, where Tyler reveals that Danny has been gunning for Bay and Day, which is huge. It's a lot of people that have Danny on their radar right now and want to target her. So no surprise, Enzo has been talking about big moves, but he chose Christmas as the renom after Kevin, for obvious reasons, took himself off the block with the veto he won. Disappointing. I think we all hoped that the wall yeller situation would have resulted in something more interesting and hopefully Kaysar could stay, but Christmas is on the block. She did not want to go up. She kept trying to not be on the block, but since she already volunteered, Enzo's like, that's it, that's what's happening, and he's over it. I'm way too hopeful for my own good, so would love for the house to flip and get Christmas out, but you know, that's very unlikely. Christmas was telling Enzo that whoever has her name in their mouth, that she will guillotine their head. And that was just like, it went from 0 to 100 really fast. I think she was calling Bae aggressive, and I'm like, this comment is like super aggressive. Enzo in his speech apparently alluded to Kaysar being the house target. So much for big moves, right? It's funny that Christmas is gonna be asking and begging for Bae and Day to vote for her, yet she's been saying that she's gonna nominate them if she wins HOH. So it's kind of just like, she did lie to other people saying that she didn't know that she was gonna go up, that it just happened. So obviously she knew, she volunteered for it, but you know, pawns do go home sometimes, and volunteering to go on the block is never a good idea. Cody and Tyler were debating on who should go first, Danny or Day. Obviously Enzo sides with Tyler, wanting Danny out. Cody obviously wants Day out because getting rid of Danny, although he doesn't trust Danny and she rubs him the wrong way, that's losing one of his core alliance members, and that's just making his side weaker. Day and David did have a conversation to try to mend things over. They were talking about the whole David Gate situation, and it seems like things are better between them, which is good. It was a good conversation. Yeah, that's my update. Don't forget to like and comment your thoughts on what's going on this week, and what do you think is going to happen next week. There's obviously a lot of time between now to the next HOH and nominations and veto ceremony. Do you guys think there's some way that Kaysar could stay in this house? Let me know. And yeah, more BB content on the way.